Hey, welcome everyone to another live stream, and this is the first one for 2020, and Happy New Year to everyone who's watching. Happy New Synth Year for those who are into synths and all that sort of cool stuff. If you're new here and you're first to the show, a very, very warm welcome to you. Please jump into the chat and live chat we have here. We actually are a fairly sort of interactive live chat sort of show. We sort of take questions from chatties and talk about it, and without further ado, we've got some guest callers in here, so let's get stuck into those. Okay, so the first one we're going to say hi to is Inky. Just to put you on the spot there, Inky. How you going? Happy New Year.
Happy 2020.
How was your Christmas and New Year break?
Oh, it's lovely. A bit quiet, but I enjoyed it. Yeah, it's been not much music, so I'm looking forward to getting back into that. But, yeah, lovely. And yours?
I'll get to that in a sec, but thank you for asking. I will definitely answer that. I'm just going to go quickly to Darren. Let's go to Darren. Say Happy New Year, Darren, and all the festive season greetings to you.
And Happy New Year to everyone watching and to you as well. 2020. A new year starts.
You have a nice break over Christmas?
Yeah, a bit like Inky, very quiet, very little music. And see what happens in the new year now.
Fantastic. We've just got Dazza joining us.
Annabelle.
So, yeah. Dazza joining. So just while we've got everyone here, Daz is joining us. He hasn't quite got himself set up yet, so we'll get that sorted in a sec. Okay. Now, it sort of catches you off guard when you have people ringing you in the middle of a stream. Anyway, so for those new to the show, what we'd like to sort of do is we talk about all sort of new stuff. I can hear you, Dazza, but do you want to just hang on a sec? I'm just going to be introducing everyone and just pause for a sec, buddy. Down below me you can see the chatties, and we like to definitely talk to you guys. So if you do have a question about the stream or anything like that, please definitely chuck it in the chat. And what I can do is I can highlight your comment and I can put it below. And this is kind of what we do. We chuck it in like below, like that one below, which is an old comment from another stream, and we can talk about it. So the topic of today is pretty obvious. We're going to be talking about the ARP 2600, but we're going to get to that in a sec. What we like to do, I might just mute you for a sec, Dazzy. You're making a lot of picks and pops. So I'm just going to mute you for a sec. Here we go. And what we're going to do is we're going to go into our normal segments. So for those who are new, the first one that we do is a thing called Funny Side. We're going to roll the stinger for that. Let's get stuck into it. Welcome to a Funny Side. Now, let's see if we've got Dazza stopping the pippity and poppity. Dazza, you can hear us, can't you?
I can hear you, but I can't say anything.
Okay. We'll have to sort that out in a sec. All right. Yeah. So first up on the ranks for the Funny Side, this is where I kind of go through things that pop up on my social media feed each week, and I find funny things. And this one came up. So in 2019, before Behringer's announcement, this one's a little bit racy, and then after Behringer's announcement, I thought it was clever. Everyone likes to watch cats on their phone, except for certain people. Anyway, there's that one. Don't know if anyone gets it, but anyway, we'll move right along. Okay, next one. Okay, let's just pause it there for a sec and go to this one. Now, we're going to have an ARP 2600 theme today in today's show. So I did scour through old memes, and I actually thought this one was pretty good. This is C-3PO from Star Wars, if you haven't worked it out, and you're saying, oh no, I'm now into modular. ARP 2600, that's all your fault. So obviously he's talking to R2-D2, but he's called him ARP 2600. I thought that was pretty clever. So there's that one.
That's quite funny.
And last but not least, Korg finally releases the ARP 2600 Mini, just to piss everyone off. I thought that was well done. I don't know if you can work that out. Someone just cut and pasted the ARP 2600 face onto a ARP Odyssey. No, it's an MS20. What am I saying? So yeah, there we go. That one was pretty clever, I thought. Okay, let's see if we can get Dazza working. Let's quickly say Happy New Year to you, Dazza.
Oh, yeah, thank God. Can you guys see me?
We can see you fine.
Yeah, we can.
Let me
I'm
just
on
see.
radio voice.
Yeah.
That's better.
Yeah, that was a bit weird.
Hello. I said that.
Yeah, you should be getting my feed.
I'm watching on YouTube now with about a 20-second delay.
Well, yeah, you should be getting my feedback through Skype. But anyway, it's something your end is not working.
That's all right.
All right. Well, how's your Christmas and New Year's been?
Oh, shocking. We had fires down here, and I'm really crook, and just my studio's in disarray, and I'm just not getting anything done. And now I've got a huge delay, and I can hear echo, and it's all good.
Yeah, you probably want to mute the YouTube audio.
That is. I don't know what it is, but I'll play with it while you talk.
All right, you play. Okay, it's good to see you anyway. And what I'll do is I will add you into a little quadrant in the bottom right-hand corner while we're talking. The next segment that we've got coming up is news, but I'm just going to wait 1 second to do that because it's pretty much just talking about the ARP 2600 really. So, let's not worry about it too much. But anyway, let's see if we can get. Where are you? There you go. Bang. We got everyone in the right spots now. Good. Nice. Okay. All right. Let's go with the next segment, which is news. Rolling with it. Bang. Okay. Now, welcome to news. Now, I'm okay. We're not going to quite start with ARP 2600 yet. Okay. So what we're going to do first is we're going to talk about this little baby here. This is a photo of mine, actually. In fact, you can see it just there. There it is there. There's a bit of news about this. So, what's the news about the MS-101 that, I should be bringing up to everybody? Well, it's actually a warning. So if you've got an MS-1 or an MS-101, even if you've got a blue one or a grey one or a red one, it doesn't matter. The Behringer one I'm talking about, not the Roland one. There's a new firmware update out. Don't update. Do not update your firmware. This is dead serious. I'm not joking around. This is not funny side. This is news. There is actually a problem with the sequencer if you upgrade your firmware. And it will remove all your saved sequences as well as remove a whole bunch of features on your sequencer. And that might actually annoy you. And it did annoy me. So, and a lot of people have also reported the same thing. So what I would suggest you do is just keep it on the current firmware that you've got if you haven't upgraded yet. If you have upgraded to firmware 1.1.4, commiserations to you. We haven't worked out how to downgrade it. But anyway, that's starting off on a bit of a sour note. But anyway, hopefully Behringer do sort that out. And hopefully they're watching this YouTube video because they do watch my channel. And they can sort their act out because that's actually really bad. Okay, next one is, talking about Behringer, we had to do this. I mean, I was thinking about, we always talk about them on the stream, but they have released another synthesizer and they did it between the last stream and this stream. So yes, they have released a CAT synthesizer. Now, Dazza.
Yo.
This is actually pretty funny for you and me because they released, obviously the CAT. And you and I were talking about this synthesizer. Don't say what it was, but nod your head because I can see you off the camera. Do you remember us talking about the CAT last year? We were watching a certain video and we were trying to identify a synth. Do you remember it?
Yeah, I remember doing some synth ID. Yeah.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play for everyone that actual video. Okay. And then hopefully they can see a very you've just given it away. Very iconic.
No, I haven't given away the instrument.
Look, there's Eddie Rayner. Sorry about the quality of the video. This was actually filmed around about 1980, and here he is playing the CAT. Go. All right, I'm going to pause it there because the YouTube police will definitely ping me for that. So there you go. There's actually a cat, a real cat. This one's not a Behringer cat. That one's a real cat in action for the famous Australian band called Split Enz. For those who have never heard of Split Enz, well, you should Google them and find out who they are. That guy that was playing the synths, his name's Eddie Rayner, and in that actual video film clip, I'll link it down in the description below at the end of the stream. There's a CS80, there's a Prophet 5, there's a something else, and there's the cat. So just in that song, there's some of your favourite synthesizers of all time. So there you go, a bit of a snippet of the cat, which I thought would be nice.
I grew up with that.
Quick reaction from you guys. Starting with you.
I grew up with those sounds.
Dazza, you go first.
I just grew up with those sounds. Every supermarket you'd walk into, it'd be playing songs like that and 2GB and AM radio. We were back in the day.
Fantastic. So that was like 1980. What about you, Inky? Do you ever have any favourite songs that has the cat on it?
No, I don't. And I've never heard of Split Enz either. So
yes!
Winning!
Winning!
Sacrilege!
Winning! I love it. So I think...
have you heard of Crowded House?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so Split Enz were pretty much the band before Crowded House. The guy that's singing in that song there, let's get his face up. That's Neil Finn. That's the lead singer of Crowded House.
Yeah.
All right. So
and Fleetwood Mac.
Oh yeah, he did sing in Fleetwood Mac, didn't he? Yes. Okay, so let's get a comment from Darren. Do you have a favourite cat synth song?
Not that I can think of, but a few of the bands that I like have used the cat and things like the Wasp as well. So, but I couldn't think of a favourite track that it actually appears in.
Well, that's well, there you go. You've now got a song called "I Got You," which has got a cat in it, and that should become your favourite cat song. Let's have a quick look at the chatties. I just wanted to say a quick shout out to gosh, there's lots of people in there. Sasquatch, how you going? New to the stream. Michael B, nice to have you. Triple Eight Berg, obviously it's great to have you again. Axel Soft Music's good to have you. Who else we got? Sonic Neutronic, nice to have you. I think you're new here too. That's awesome. And I think there was another guy that jumped in earlier. I did say hi in the chat, but we'll just say hi on the stream because it's always nice. And that was I've lost it. I don't know where it's gone. Bernie Pascal Maximilian. How you going? There you go. And if you actually are watching the stream, jump into chat and say hi. Tell us what your favourite cat song is. While we're talking about cat songs, it won't be for long because we'll be talking about the ARP 2600 soon. So you'll be able to go crazy with that in a minute. But anyway, let's get back to news because there's more. But wait, there is more. So obviously the big news. Before we finish on the cat, there's a picture of the original cat. So that's the original cat by Octave. So it's a pretty basic looking thing. And then I think it was monophonic originally, and they made a change, and that's the Behringer one. So quite different looking, aren't they? But anyway, that's that. Okay, so the next item on the news is the one that we've all been waiting for, and yes, that is that. We talked about this before, but now we actually have a date. Korg have announced that on the 10th of January, which is only 6 days away, less than a week, fellas and ladies, there's going to be an ARP 2600 full size, I believe, and all the details of what it looks like and when it will come available and everything will be announced on the 10th of January. And so this stream, we're going to be kind of focusing on the ARP 2600. The reason why, it's probably from a selfish point of view, but the reason why is because I love the ARP 2600 and I've always wanted one and I've never been able to afford one. So there might be a chance now that I can get one. So I'm actually super excited. So there you go. So what we're going to do is we're going to sort of swing into kind of like a little bit of a montage of a bit of ARP 2600, and guys, feel free to jump in. So I'm
going to try and call you back, man.
No worries.
Okay.
So basically, one of the things that I've been told, and this is just social media hearsay, there's nothing official about it, is we believe the Korg price is predicted to be around $2,000 US. So that seems to be, this thing is going to be quite high end. It's going to have, it's been worked in with the original ARP people. So yeah, we'll see how that goes anyway. So, but I guess the question I want to ask everyone is, and so let's take this off. Go to me. The question I want to ask everyone is, what happened to the Behringer one? Didn't they announce like in May in 2019, like not that long ago, in May, what's that, 7-8 months ago, that they were making one? In fact, you might have watched my stream and I showed pictures of it. They were showing off boards and concept designs and all sorts of stuff. So I don't actually know what's been happening with the Behringer stuff, but I think I actually brought a few photos in. Where are we? I can probably bring one up for you guys. The Behringer ARP 2600. Is that it? Yeah, here we go. So that was the photo that they showed. There were a few others, but that was the photo of the controller board they showed back in May. So they're obviously they've probably already made it. So there's that. So the question, I guess, is what's happening with it? And I don't have an answer, but that's the question. So we haven't heard anything. Whether it's because Korg have put a pause on them legally, who knows? You guys in chat might be able to show us anything. Let me just fix that post from Triple Eight Berg. There we go. Right. Okay, so if you're worried about spending money on an ARP 2600, this is kind of where I think it sort of hits the sweet spot with me. And you think that $2,000, the new Korg one might be $2,000. You think that's a lot of money still. Well, think about this. So the original ARP 2600 retailed around about 1971 for $900 US back then, back in 1971. Now, I don't know about you, a lot of you people probably weren't even born in 1971. But just to sort of give you, like the CPI increase, in today's money type conversion, that's around about $5,600 US today. So for those who are earning a certain amount of money back in 1971, $900 was about the same value as $5,600 would be US for you guys today. So it would have been a lot of money for a synth, and it would have definitely put it in the higher end. ARP were notorious for being quite cheap for synths though, but they weren't the cheapest, and they definitely weren't the most expensive, as you know. But so going back to what I was saying before about if you're sort of worried about spending $2,000, you can't afford that even. Well, there are some options for you. So here we go. There are clones that have been around for a while. Like there's the TTSH. There's also a couple of options at Studio Electronics, and there's even Arturia make a VST, which is pretty good. So in a mix, you probably wouldn't even notice. I'm probably going to get shot for saying that, but it's a pretty good VST, and that's only a few dollars, that one. Okay, so let's have a look at Studio Electronics. Now they've got the Boomstar, which has been around for a while. It's the 4072, and that is what is it? It's probably about almost 9 or 10 years old, that thing. $13.99 US, you can get that. Now, do I have a picture of that? I don't know if I've got a picture of that. I don't have a picture of that, but I do have a picture of this one. They've actually released another one, which is called the Tone Star, which is actually a 2600 Eurorack module. And this thing's pretty cool. It's Studio Electronics makes some really, really cool gear. This has got the same filter, the same oscillator. I think it's only one oscillator though. And yeah, I mean, you guys, this is not an ad for Studio Electronics. You guys need to go check that out. But for $419 US, you can get somewhere down the line of a ARP 2600. So I also mentioned the TTSH clone. So that's what that looks like. So you can make one yourself, brand new. You can have it made, or you can. So one of the options with the TTSH is fully assembled and tested is $3,599 US. You can buy the full kit, which includes the metal case. Everything you see there is $1,949. So that's less than $2,000. You have to make it yourself though. You can buy a kit without the case, and that's $16.99. You can buy just the PCB panel and set and case and get your own parts for $7.49. That one's actually pretty popular. So a lot of people, they have accounts with electronic stores or whatever, and source your own parts. That one is pretty cheap if you source your own resistors, capacitors, sliders, potentiometers, everything. So there's that. So you can also get, it's not just Behringer and it's not just Korg making an ARP 2600. There's been stuff out there for ages. Okay, and there's also a guy around, what's it, Barcelona, I think it is, and he makes this thing called a Antinous 2600. It's actually a proper clone, and these are around about 2600. Funny about the price, 2600 euros for the price. Now let's just have a quick look at the Antinous 2600. I think this is a Jean-Michel Jarre Equinox. Yeah. Alright, enough of Jean-Michel Jarre. So there you go. There's the Antinous. I'll put a link in, down the bottom of the video for that, and also for their website. They're still selling them, so they're still around. So yeah, talking about pricing and things and options like that. It's not just Korg and Behringer doing ARP 2600 stuff. Let's go to our calling people. Quick reaction. Who wants to go first? Darren?
Me? Or
Yeah.
the other Darren?
No, you.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
you.
you.
Oh, you got your mouth full. Do you want me to go with?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll go with Dazza.
I think you've done your research. They look amazing. I like the analog sequencer on that last one. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, that does look pretty cool. Inky,
They're out of my range.
what did you think of some of that stuff?
Yeah, I like the last one. Last one sequencer, the whole thing was just awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I wonder what is Behringer's? Where did it go? Would you think it'll come out this year?
I think it will. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, look, they've shown their hand, haven't they? So, I'm sure that I had a photo of that case. That they teased the case in, it's gone now, of actually the desktop thing. I put a post up on my Facebook. Oh, sorry, Mike. Put a post up on my Facebook. So if you guys follow me on Facebook, you'll see it's in there. But anyway, yeah, I'll see if I can dig it up during the stream. You guys can see. It's kind of different. Like everything that you see, other than the Studio Electronics stuff, are pretty much faithful recreations of that big sort of triangular, vertical sort of ARP 2600 sort of clone. But the Antinous one looks really, really cool. And I never knew about it until I started doing my research. So there you go. I'm sure people in the chat would know about it. So anyway, let's keep going because there's much more. Now, what I want to do next is I want to show you some funny stuff about because I like to do my funny side. So this is Ozzy Osbourne. This is probably going to get flagged for swearing and stuff, but this is Ozzy Osbourne, and he is playing around with his ARP 2600, and you cannot get better than this. This is brilliant.
Why are you fucking doing this? Come on, you fucking fool. Come on, motherfucker. Makes me better drink. I will be back. Sabbath. I forgot to use the fucking thing.
It's on MTV. I'm probably going to get done for this.
I'm using for 20 years. You see, this is a ballad kind of a vibe.
All right, it's about half. I'm not going to show you more. I'll link that video. It's a little. It goes on, and he just keeps swearing at it. So that's Ozzy Osbourne trying to use an ARP 2600. Apparently, he does know how to use them. He just keeps forgetting, probably due to lack of brain cells. But anyway, that's that. Now, speaking of videos, I definitely think probably one of the best 2600 videos I've ever seen is Mark Doty, who's also called Automatic Gainsay, and this is a little snippet of this one. I'm on YouTube. You can do it. So this is just him fiddling around, right? And he has all these different kind of weird. These are his patch names: intermittent cheering while smashing. Pretty actually good name for a patch. And it just goes on like there's this one. So if you kind of wanted to get a sort of feel for how the ARP 2600 sound, that is a great video to watch because it's got some really good original sort of sound design and stuff in it, and he knows his way around that, that's for sure. But just recently, and I was absolutely amazed by this, the guys from Perfect Circuit, I've mentioned them before a while ago. They're I think they're in Los Angeles or San Francisco, somewhere around there on the west coast of the United States of America. They actually have got this 50-minute video. Now, I'm not going to play 50 minutes of video, but you guys can watch that yourselves. Now, there's actually some really, really good news. That particular ARP 2600 is for sale. And I am going to show you how much it is in our price watch section, which is coming up very shortly. And it's not a scam, it's real. So they do want a fair bit of coin for it. And it will actually show you why we kind of are getting excited about the Korg and the Behringer news. So what else have we got? I think that's it for the videos, and I'm pretty sure that's it for all the other stuff. See if I can still drag up that picture of the Behringer one. Anyway, chatties, tell us what your favorite ARP 2600 song is. Mine will probably have to be one of the Jean-Michel Jarre, Equinox or Oxygen, one of those earlier sort of Jarre. He's pretty good with the 2600 notes. For those who don't know, if you watch, there's videos on YouTube. If you watch, they redid Oxygen in the late 90s or early 2000, I don't know, 2007 or something. I don't know. It was a while ago now, and they reset up this massive sort of studio space. They wheeled out all the old gear, and they actually performed it live. And they went through. There was kind of like an intro, and they went through all the different instruments. One of the things was there was this really brassy sound that's in Oxygen 1, the first track on the Oxygen album, and he's got this dial that's plugged into the 2600, and it makes this sort of waspy, brassy sound. And then he actually talks about it, and so it's got some amazing timbre abilities. So yeah, go check that out if you haven't seen that one. Anyway, I think what we can do now is flag a few comments in chat and talk to you guys. So everyone's saying Jean Michel Jarre, absolutely.
I think Darren raised an interesting synth before when he mentioned the Wasp. The Wasp has come up a couple of times this week just in conversation with people. And I wouldn't be surprised if that was one that they've got designs on if they haven't already.
Who's they?
Behringer.
Oh, the Wasp?
They've done it. You can buy it.
Yeah, they've already done
buy it.
Yeah, they've already done it, yeah.
I might have seen that.
Yeah, they've just about done everything, haven't they? I mean, still to come is the VCS3. They've shown that they're going to do that, and there's a whole bunch of other stuff. They're talking about doing the CS80. There was something else. I'm forgetting. Oh, Elka Synthex was the other one that they're going to do. So there's a whole bunch, you know. So basically, nothing's sort of out of their grasp at the moment. I wouldn't be surprised if they started cloning themselves. All right, now, so Daz is dying slowly. We'll just go quickly away now.
Sorry.
Triple 8 Bird, this is for you. Yeah, you say.
Somebody who's playing the ARP about nowadays is Chris Calcutt. And one of my favourite recent tracks of his just starts with the ARP on the live gig he did for Sonic State. In the middle of his set, he starts off with the ARP, and it's one of the nicest sounds I've ever heard.
Yeah, it's good. He's good with that.
I don't know whether it's that sound or that track or whatever it is. It's got that magic. I love that track, and it haunted me for months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just remember too.
That's when I really started wanting one. When I heard that, I was like, yeah.
There were 3 different models. There was the blue. What do they call it? There was the blue one. Have I got a photo of that? I can bring a photo up of that. I can do everything.
The whitey cream one.
There were 3 main different models. I'm probably going to get shot for saying the wrong thing here, but there was they called this one the blue something or other. Blue Marvin, that's right. It was named after some guy that was like the CEO at the time. Let me go to a different graphic. Go to there. Go to there. There's the Blue Marvin. So that was the very, very first one that they made. They only made about 25 of these. They also renamed it the Blue Meanie, and it was really, really unreliable. It had what was wrong with it? It had kind of a lot of fragile build to it, so they didn't build it properly in a factory and all that sort of stuff. So that was the sort of issue with that one. So then, what else can I say? They brought out. I'm trying to find something here. Hang on. They brought the other one that they brought out is this. I think the one that was shown in the Perfect Circuit video is kind of like a grey-faced one. So that would be not that one. That's the next one they brought out. Sorry, which was the next one after. That's the grey Meanie. That also was unreliable. There's only about 35 made of those, but they actually made that one in the factory. It's a little bit more reliable than the blue one. So technically they're the same as the blue and the grey. A slightly different build. But the one that well, let's just show the Perfect Circuit one because it's on the video there. That one there is the next model that came out, which is the version 1, 2, 3, the P model they call it, which is kind of the grey. Well, it's known as the grey face. So that one is quite sought after. There was a lot made, so they actually made that for quite a while, because that one had the 4072 filter. No, not the 4072. That one had the 4012 filter, which is the Moog filter in it, and they got sued by Moog for putting a Moog ladder filter in there, ARP 2600. So, and then obviously the one that everybody would know and see is the one that's got the orange. See how it's got the orange labels on it? So that was kind of like the last model that they made, and that's called, technically it's called an ARP 2601 or model 2601. So yeah, they actually made different models. Now it depends. See that Inky, you were talking about Kalk and his way his sounds. His might, depending on which one he's got, he might have the grey one. If he's got the grey one, it's going to sound amazing.
The last one.
The orange one. Yep.
Yeah, didn't they make a cream one as well?
No, you're thinking of the Odyssey.
White.
Pretty sure you're thinking of the Odyssey. Yeah. So, anyways, remember how before I was talking about the price, and I was saying, look, guys, if you can't afford a $2,000 synth, don't stress. There's options. And I showed you some options. There's another option, and I quickly showed it before, and this was actually this one, an ARP Odyssey. Why is an ARP Odyssey another option to own a 2600? Well, it's not a 2600, okay? So let's put that out there. But this thing sounds almost identical. The only difference is it only has 2 oscillators instead of 3, and it has some features that the ARP 2600 hasn't got, like oscillator sync, and it doesn't have all the modulation patch points and all the sort of crazy stuff that 2600's got. But just to get sort of basic sound, this is the Korg version. Obviously, I haven't got the Behringer one. I actually got this one in 2015, and it's got the 3 filters. So it's got the original, the Moog ladder, and I think the 3rd version, which was after they got sued. So you've got a 2600-esque sound out of this. You can get that thing to sound pretty similar. Now I've I'm a bit of a Jean-Michel Jarre lover. I've been playing around with Magnetic Fields is I think their 3rd album, his 3rd album. Well, not technically his 3rd album, it's his, Anyway, Magnetic Fields, and there's my favourite track probably of all time that he ever made is called Magnetic Fields Part 4. Not the concert in China version, this is the album version. There's a subtle difference between the two. There's a few things that annoy me about the concert version. But the bass line in Magnetic Fields Part 4 is an ARP 2600. There's also an RSF Cobol in there, and there's also a Prophet 5 in there. So he's basically got 3 or 4 basses going at once, but the main bass line, which you hear kind of bouncing around your left and right speakers, it's a kind of a stereo effect. It's like sort of sequence thing. That is the ARP 2600. And if you really want to hear how kind of gritty that oscillator sounds without too much filtering and things like that, that's a great track to listen to. And it gives you a real insight to how it can sound on a very short, stabby sort of, sawtooth kind of bassy sort of sound. It might actually be a couple of oscillators in that, so he might have a pulse width, square wave in there, but basically it's a sawtooth mixed. So anyway, you can see like on here when I was playing that patch before, I've got my little oscilloscope, my $30 eBay jobby there, and you can see if I go down an octave, you can see what the sawtooth looks like and the filter, and then you can see what the square wave looks. Look at that for a square wave. It's very noisy square wave, isn't it? So you can play around with your ARP your Odyssey, and you can get these things sounding pretty ARP 2600-ish. Anyway, let's catch up with the chatties. How are we going for time? We're going good? Yep, we're going excellent for time. I want to go into the next segment in a sec, but let's flag a few comments. I like this one. Sonic Neutronics said this one. He said basically, focus on the stupid amount of money's worth of synths that he bought in 2019. I think most of us probably spent a stupid amount of money on synths in 2019. A lot of it went to Behringer. I wouldn't be surprised if Behringer got a lot of our money in 2019, and some of the other synth manufacturers didn't get as much as what they normally get. So, yeah. What else we got? Wow, chatting's going crazy. So yeah, the ARP Quadra is also coming. Apparently, I didn't know that. That's actually really cool. It's one of my favorite synths. So ARP 2600, VCS 3, ARP Quadra, and Elka Synthex. Probably 4 or 5 of my top favorite synths, and then obviously CS80. I do like the memory Moog, but now that Moog have brought out the Moog 1, it's pretty much a memory Moog, isn't it? So anyway, Axelsoft is making a good point there to support the Alan Perlman Foundation. So that'll pop up in the sec just below me. I think they I need to get a link for that. I'm just going to say I think there's a link, but I need to find the link for that. Anyway, so Sasquatch is saying Behringer got 90% of his money. Okay. Lee Jackson's saying somewhere Behringer are working on a CS80 clone. They are, but also Yamaha are also working on a CS80 again, according to Yamaha. So, and also, what do you call them? Black, what's that one that do all the, the replicant synths? I was going to say clone, but I was purposely not saying clone because I don't like being calling clones. Black Corporation in Japan, they're also working on a CS80 as well. So there's a few CS80s possibly coming out. But anyway, there you go. Okay, let's go into the next segment, which is our price watch, because I think it's related. Okay. eBay. It's not really to do with eBay scams this week, but let's roll this thing anyway. This one's for you, Dazza.
Hey, hello.
You got this one first off the ranks.
Just
so you can have I want you to have your little rant. Go on. Off you go.
Thank you. I'll take full credit for that. I've been surfing around for the cheapest one of those I can find, and the postage on that is more than the thing itself. It's not worth it.
What is the postage on that? 80. This is Australian dollars. 83.58. Yeah. So your rant. This is just to sort of light the spark again of what you were talking about the other day. Your rant is, why is it that stuff costs more to post than it does to buy? That's your rant.
Yeah, but when other people are free, so some of them are free from Japan, no postage. Like, why? Why is there a difference? I don't know.
Probably some poor dude who's got it sitting in his garage has to go down and walk down to the post office and post it. I don't know if personally if a monotron delay is actually going to cost him or her $80 Australian to post, and there's certainly not $80 worth of packaging and posting in that. Inky's shaking your head. So I'd say that that one definitely falls on the scam side, doesn't it? Don't you guys agree?
From memory, that one was coming from France as well. So there's some French dude there trying to make a profit. Oh, maybe it's to do with French law. I don't know.
No, it's not. He's having liberties.
Was that?
Oh la la.
Was that a buy it now, or was it a bid on?
No, that's a Reverb website. That's off Reverb. Reverb.com. I do have. Speaking of,
do they think that we're all like uneducated? I mean, surely, if you're looking on Reverb for musical equipment, you're going to know a little bit, and you're going to know that, a monotron's worth about 60, 70 English pounds.
Yeah, but they're looking for.
Yeah.
They're looking for the one that doesn't know. They're looking for the mother that's buying a present for the child that doesn't have a clue about prices. It's easy fish.
All right, let's go to let's go to the next one, because do you remember how I was showing the perfect circuit video, and I did promise you that I would show you how much they're selling theirs for. So this is not a scam. Okay, so this segment is price watch and scams. This is not a scam. This is for real. All right. This actually, it's been discounted by 10% as well. So you can. This is Australian dollars. So I do apologise for you guys who live on the other side of the world. Halve it for pounds. So about £8,000, I don't know, £7,500, and then a little bit more for US dollars.
I don't think that's bad, considering it is a kind of a musical piece of history where there aren't many left. It's almost like a museum piece.
Yeah, and I mean, you actually heard it. They've got a video of them playing it. It looks like it's in good nick, and you heard it. So you know.
Well, when you think of pianos as well, how much is, you know, an old piano can cost, you know, 5 times that.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, and the postage on top of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know which I'd buy.
All right, so let's go to the next one. Now, I did try and keep this ARP 2600 topic. So this one is probably a bit on the higher side. Now, let's work this out for you guys. So there's $200 shipping. See, there you go. An ARP 2600 with $200 shipping is about the right shipping price. But let's make this 21,000, sorry, 500 Australian dollars, and times that by 0.69.
Has it spelled outstanding wrong?
Yeah, astounding.
I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it right there.
Astounding. It's an astounding condition. It's one of those bad words. So you're looking at $14,800 for that, including shipping. Now this one is in, where is it? United Kingdom. There you go.
Oh yeah. I'll just nip out and get it.
So I should let you guys know, while I'm at it, these actual listings I picked up today. So these are hot off the press listings. This one's on eBay. This one's from Germany. Now this one's pretty good. 4,000 euros. But how much? Postage. I don't think that postage is right. $20 20 euros postage. I think he's having a lend there. But anyway, that's about that's probably the cheapest ARP 2600 I've ever seen. Mind you, though, it's got some weird references to Roland and EMS and Moog in there. I just don't know why. Maybe it's to try and get the searches working better for him. But yeah, that's pretty good. That's like a, you know, that might be a clone. I reckon that's a clone. That might be a TTSH. I don't know, guys in chat, do you guys recognize that if it's a clone or not? MS 2600NG. Is that some sort of clone? Someone might know. If it is, that's probably not worth it.
Picture.
I don't have a bigger picture, and I've closed the auction. Sorry, but yeah, the auction number is. You guys can find that with that information there. BAAL303 is his username, and he's in Germany. So there you go. So there's some ARP 2600 pricing. Now these are real prices, so you know. When I talked about before about all the options you can have to try and get something sounding like an ARP 2600, you can get a real one. You can wait 6 days and find out when Korg are releasing theirs and how much it's going to be. You can wait a few months and Behringer will probably release theirs and how much that's going to be. You can use an Odyssey. You could use the studio electronic stuff. There's heaps. There's all the kits that you could buy. So you know, if you are into ARP 2600, you know, if you can't get one, I think you're not trying hard enough. And that was just me mucking around today trying to find out what's out there. I'm sure there's plenty more. So you know, that's probably the tip of the iceberg. It's probably one of those Titanic type situations. Yeah. So let's have a quick look at the chatties. What's the 362 OP? I don't know. What's the 362 OP? Was that something in the...
It's the keyboard. It's the keyboard that goes with it.
Oh, okay. Yep. Oh, yeah, someone answered that. Cool. Axelsoft says astounding is actually a word.
Oh,
there you go.
Okay.
So we stand corrected.
I'm sure.
I apologise.
But there's a few university qualified people in this room. We should actually know our English. That's about all I'm going to say.
Certain words I don't use. I can't remember one now, but it's like a word I always want to use, but I can't quite spell it right. So do you do that thing where you always have to do that specific word because you know the phone won't pick it up?
Let's bring that one up again. I just thought that was funny because Dazza, I want you to say your little joke. Ready, set.
What? What's my joke? You've lost me.
You just wrote it in chat.
Oh, did I? It's upstanding.
Yes, upstanding.
I'm upstanding.
Very good.
I'm already thinking about the crikey plague. I think that's what we should call it.
Bat plague.
What's this? What is this? You have to explain that.
That's my crikey sign.
Crikey.
It's even got a little bit of string on the back that you can hang it on the wall. So,
Struth.
okay, I'll tell you guys about this. Just a quick 5 minutes to tell you about this. So I went to some detour, yeah. I went to some touristy place and they sell koalas and stuffed koalas and stuffed kangaroos and akubra hats and all sorts of Australian crap that people think is Australian, but half of it's really not. But I did find this, a crikey sign. And I reckon there's heaps of people, like in Japan, with this crikey sign. They wouldn't even know what it means. And they've hung it on their wall at home in Japan or China or something. And yeah, I got one anyway. So it's actually a real piece of wood. And
I don't know, dude. You give me a cigarette lighter, I'll make you one for half the price.
Crikey.
I just had to buy it. Crikey. Anyway, so that's the segue for that. Okay, so we're coming up close to our... about 8 minutes to go for the end of the hour. Now, what's going to happen, this is for everyone who's watching on the live stream. We're going to keep going, like we always do. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to signify the end of that hour, and then that will end up being an hour-long show that I'm going to re-upload to YouTube instead of uploading 2 hours or whatever it is that we stream for. Now, the benefit to you guys who are here right now is that you guys will get to see the whole show, pre-show and post-show. So the people that don't watch the live stream will only get the hour. So there's a benefit for being on the live stream. So that's what we're doing this year. It's a new change to the format. So hopefully you guys appreciate that, because I care about everyone who takes the time to, sit there and hang out with us. And I'm sure these other three people here as well do. So there you go. I think we've pretty much done up 2600 to death, haven't we? So, the next step is that that we'll all be listening to that in 6 days' time, because that won't make the stream, because the next stream is 7 days' time, right? So in 6 days' time, we'll actually know what Korg's all about, and then the next stream we'll talk about that. So, I mean, I won't be making a big sort of stream on the ARP 2600 next time, but definitely will be on the news, that's for sure. So, Triple Eight Berg, you don't need a crikey sign. You walk around the house saying it every day. When you can't find that patch cable, crikey, where's the patch cable? Anyway, speaking of patch cables and stuff, I spent the Christmas break, I'm going to call it that, tidying up my studio, and it looks the same, I know, but trust me, it's very tidy. One of the things that I did, and you guys will think this is therapy, is I've got these big plastic containers that have got, the wall wart power supplies that you get with everything, those black things that you plug in. And if you put them in a box, they all get tangled. If you don't tidy the cables up on them, they all get tangled. So I spent literally about an hour or two going and tying up all the cables on about 20 or 30 of these things in a box. and it's just behind me, the massive build. And I did the same with all my, 1/4 inch and 1/8 inch audio cables that I've got in a separate box, and I did it for my USB cables, and so that was part of me cleaning up my studio so that I can spend the next year unraveling it all and making a mess. So that's that part. And then the other thing I'm doing is I've changed my setup here slightly. So I got rid of the mini log, and the TR8's jumped up there for now. I've put the noodler here now. So I'll just go to my full so you can see better. So I've got the noodler there, and the Euroracks are up the top corner. I've got the Neutron there, MS-101 still there, and obviously the brains is the MPC Live, and I've got the circuit mono station there. Now, at the moment, that's kind of just a sort of sound design thing that I'm working with at the moment, but a couple of Eurorack modules to go in that that I'm waiting on seeing. So there's that. And also, I've got a little toy. And it's not really anything, I don't sort of expect anyone here to rush out and buy this thing, but if you guys follow me on social media, I would have shown you a photo of this in a bag. So I've actually spent today building it. It was a little project. It's all been built. Where's the camera gone? You can sort of see it's 2 MIDIs and a USB, and you can actually play games on this thing. It's a little Arduino processor in it. You can actually play games on this thing, and you can load different what they call sketches on it as well. But at the moment, it's got a MIDI monitor on it. So let's plug it in. Let's blow the computer up while we plug it in. All right, and I'll zoom in for you guys. This is just to sort of finish off the stream, just to show you guys this thing. You can still buy these. They're only about 30 euros. So they're not that too bad, 30 euros. It's gonna sit there, that'll do. Turn it on. There we go. So it's a little MIDI monitor. All right, at the moment, it's just taking MIDI. That's not focusing, is it? There we go. So I'm gonna take the. So I'll show you what I'm doing. So I'm just gonna hit a motif button on the noodler. There you go. And you can see and I can clear it. Start it again. There you go. Stop it. I can do different things. So there's a few settings in here. It's pretty cool. So you can go in, clear it. There's little settings. You can turn off this thing called noisy messages, which is things like clock messages and stuff. So that's pretty handy. And you can also set this thing to be a MIDI through as well. So there you go. That is the MIDI Boy Bottas, I think it is, the guy that makes it. So yeah, that kit probably took me a couple of hours to make. Everything came. The only thing you had to supply was your own USB cable and a battery. It actually does work off a battery. So I probably didn't even need to plug it in. So it's still actually working off a 9-volt battery. There you go. Look at that. Pretty cool, hey? That may be of use to somebody. I don't know. But what I'm thinking is it might be a good little Eurorack module, little sort of DIY Eurorack sort of thing. Anyway, we're coming up to the end of the hour. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a fake buy. For those who are actually watching the stream right now, don't disappear because we're not going anywhere. This is just a fake buy. This is for those who are going to be watching the video on YouTube as a replay. So I just wanted to say thanks for watching. Happy New Year. And Darren, you can say a quick goodbye for those watching the replay video. Yeah, Inky. Quick goodbye to those watching.
See you later.
And Dazza.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys.